Yes.
Yeah. So, how's everything with you, Chahat? Everything is okay?
Yes, sir. Everything is fine.
All right. Okay, that's great. So, which city are you speaking from?
I'm from Amritsar.
Right. Okay. From the holy city. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
So
Yes, Chahat.
start with the introduction. So, hello everyone. Today we have our guest of honor, Mr. Hardeep Singh Brar, the Vice President and the Head of Marketing at Sales and Kia Motors, India. Good evening, sir. I welcome you, sir, to our podcast, Alumni Reflect. I would like you to share your experience and journey after passing out from Thapar and heights that you have achieved in your career. So I'll be starting with the questions, sir. And first, we'll start with the college-based questions. And the first question is, was engineering a choice or an option?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I think our times were very different than probably what you have right now. In our times, parents used to tell much in advance, what are you going to do? And
Right.
since my father was an engineer, he kind of hammered, and for that matter, my parents, my grandfather, that, I'm going to be an engineer. So it was kind of embedded in our minds that, I'm going to go for engineering, and that's what happened. So I can't say either one of them, but it was embedded in my mind that I'm going to do engineering, and I was lucky enough that I was good in maths and sciences. So I think that was the only option I had. I didn't know anything else what I could do. So there I was. So I hope I'm able to answer the question that you asked for.
Right, sir. Nice. Okay. The second question, if allowed to go back to college, what experiences would you like to relive?
I don't think I would like to change anything. I think we have loads of fun in the college. We had the time which was meant for the studies. We studied that, but more than that, I think we had loads of fun. The kind of learning, more than studies, it was the kind of learning that that one had, for that matter, all the batchmates of mine which we had, because this is the first time you are away from your home. You are kind of not protected. You are on your own, and you are supposed to decide what you want to do. So we had a set of fun, we had a set of studies, and I was, very active in sports. So I played practically every game. So I would not like to change anything. I would relive the way it was.
Right, sir. Okay. Do you have any hostel fun stories that you would like to share with us?
I think we'll run out of time if I start sharing all of them. But to share a few, again, since I was active in sports, we used to play cricket in the hostel loans.
Right,
It was
sir.
good fun. And even for that matter, I used to play a lot of soccer on the hostel loans. And then the pranks we used to play with each other all the time. I think there are enough stories that we can probably spend a whole day to really talk about those stories. But in brief, the pranks, the sports, the laughter, and the sessions we had in each other's rooms. I think to sum it in a short time, that's what I would like to say to this question.
Right, so read about you, about your sports interest on LinkedIn, and having a question about that too will be coming.
Yeah.
Okay, what were your favorite hangout spots in and outside campus?
I think we used to frequent to Bhai Number Fatak very often. That was our favorite joint. Besides that, I had a few friends in the government medical college. That was another place. I think these were two places which was our hangout spot for most of us.
Right, so
Yeah.
back then, Thapar's infrastructure. It must have changed a lot right now. Like, have you visited Thapar recently?
Yeah, I've been visiting. I was lucky enough that I've been visiting Thapar very frequently. and more so after 2000 because I got married in Patiala and my in-laws are in Patiala and they stay very close to Thapar. So every time I come to Patiala, I make it a point to visit Thapar, and I've seen the kind of transition Thapar has undergone. If I had come after 25 years, maybe I would be shocked, but I've actually seen Thapar grow and grow for better. And it's, I would say, a world-class campus today. So fantastic job done by, I think, the Thapar management. It's looks absolutely fabulous.
Thank you. Are you still in contact with any of your friends you made back then?
Absolutely. I'm in touch with all the 180. I would say our batch was 180 numbers strong, which is much smaller than probably what the numbers are today. So we happened to make a WhatsApp group in year 2013, 2014. So it's been good 7 years. We are in touch, and we had our 25th year of get together, Silver Jubilee, so to say, in December of 2019. And we've got even, so while we knew each other, we used to still have a lot of fun. But I think we've gotten much closer by virtue of being on WhatsApp. And we had, by virtue of that, every time you go to each other's city, you make it a point to call your friends in that city. And I think we had a numerous amount of get together after making that WhatsApp group in 2014 or 2015. I'm not sure, but it's somewhere around that. And I think we've gotten very close because we got together after almost 20 years. And last 5 years, I think we probably would have met a far more number of times than we would have met together in the first 20 years of passing out.
Amazing, sir. Thanks. Is it true to say that college friends are the best company, or you make better friends in your professional life?
I think this thing is right. We are much closer because, you're fresh out of your class 12, you get together, and the kind of, fun you had with those friends, you don't have any inhibitions with those friends. Probably I will have a few friends from early part of my career, maybe the first 4 to 5 years. But I think whatever friends I made from year 1990 to 2000, those are the friends, and the large part of those friends are really constituted by friends made in Thapar. So I would say 90% of my friends are still from college, and 10% probably I would have made after passing out in 1994. So you're absolutely right. More the kind of friends you'll make in college, I think those are the ones which will stay your friends for a much longer period.
Right, so maybe we also get a chance to go to college and experience that thing.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Like we have been to college just for 1 month because due to Corona, it was shut down. And we, the first year students, we haven't experienced college life at all. Like,
oh my God, I really pity that. I think you are missing out on a large part of fun, and I can only wish and hope and pray that you guys get together sooner than later, because these times are not going to come back again. And I think this is the most amount of fun that you can have in your lifetime. So I hope you guys can get back to your college times or to your college sooner than later. So wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. So were you part of any college societies, and how did they influence you?
So frankly, I was in the first 3 years, I was more into sports. It was only in the last year that I kind of opened up. Maybe, you think that you're a senior most now, nobody can, laugh at you or say anything to you. So I became more kind of open in my final year. First 3 years, I was out and out sports. But last year, I had an amazing amount of fun. I went for a lot of on-stage programs, to start with Hasya Kavi Sammelan and dances and skits. And I think in last year I didn't leave anything, but I was never part of any of the societies. But yes, sports, anything to do with sports, I was definitely part of that.
Back then, how many societies were there? Like the number?
I think I will probably not be able to count on my fingertips, but I think there was dramatics, there was something to do with music, and debate, declamations, and all of that. I think there would be around 5 or 6 major ones, but I was mostly part of sports.
Right. So,
Well, the final year, I didn't become part of any of the society, but I would go and participate and have fun.
nice.
Yeah.
Which was the best celebrated festival in Thapar?
I think we started Phoenix because there used to be I don't know what is the annual function is called now, but Saturnalia was the one which we used to have prior to 1990, and then there was an unfortunate incident that happened in Thapar, and Saturnalia was cancelled for 2 to 3 years, and then when we were in our third year, first time. Since it was a reintroduction of the annual function, it was called Phoenix because Phoenix is all about coming back from the worst or yeah. So I think it was called Phoenix in 1993. I think that was real good fun. And then Saturnalia happened in '94. It was quite short because we were a very misbehaved batch. But I think besides that, there were a lot of other programs which happened. But I think I would say Saturnalia or Phoenix were one of the best.
Right. So your profile shows that you were an active participant in sports activities of the college, and you still are very fond of sports. So has sportsmanship helped you anywhere in your corporate world?
Absolutely. Once you're a sportsman, you know how to take your team along because you can never survive in this world, or you can never thrive in this world if you're an individual. And sports teaches you, and especially the team sports, they teach you that you have to take your team along, whether you are the captain of the team or you are the player of the team. The world doesn't survive based on individuals. It always survives based on the teamwork. And I think sports teach you that aspect very, very well. And I keep giving example to my team that, guys, we are a soccer team. In soccer team, you don't never get to know who the captain is. Anybody who gets the ball is supposed to make the best out of the ball that he or she gets. So, so that's my the example that I give to my teams and to my colleagues. And I think that's the beauty of being a part of team sports and the amazing amount of thought that they give you about teamwork.
Right. So what role did college play in preparing you for your career?
I think, again, I would say, I was not a very extrovert child during my school times. I think college helped us drop a lot of inhibitions. It helped us open up to people who don't even know. And that's what is required in the corporate world as well, that you need to embrace anybody or everybody who comes your way. And you need to be open about your feelings and communicate what you really think about the situations. And and besides that, I think engineering makes you very logical, step-by-step person. You start thinking in a particular way, which really helps you. So these are some of the things which I really felt that really helped me in my corporate career.
Right, sir. Amazing, sir. So now we'll start with the career-based questions. The first one, that when you joined the college, what were your first expectations and how did they eventually turn out?
So frankly, I didn't have any expectations as I moved out. I was taking a job at a time or a day at a time. The only thing I knew is that we are going to work and get some money in the beginning, so that we are independent and you're no more dependent on your parents. I think that's a big high that you get when you get into your first job. But as you get into your job, you start thinking about what next and what do you want to do next. But I frankly was not a very foresighted guy who would really think 5 or 10 years down the line. I was taking day at a time and try to give my best every day. I would say I was lucky enough that I got into this first role. I was an engineer, but I got into a sales job, and sales job really pushes you to the limit because you have to deliver business to your organization, and I was absolutely pathetic at sales. but somewhere I learned the tricks because there is a process to everything, and there was a fantastic amount of training that happened, and I underwent that training and tried to implement what I learned in my training program, and that really kind of helped me fast track, because sales is all about communicating with people, convincing them, negotiating with them, and I think it was a perfect start, I would say. So to answer your question in short, I didn't have any plans. I just took the first job. I just wanted to get into a corporate world and give it my best, and that I think really helped me. And after a year, I was lucky enough at that time to get into Maruti Suzuki, because Maruti used to pick 25 engineers based on all India test, and I was one of them in year 1995. And after that, I never looked back.
Amazing, sir. So was there any specific reason for choosing mechanical engineering?
Frankly, no. In our times, electronics used to be number one, instrumentation used to be number two, and mechanical used to be number three, and electrical 4, and civil 5. And my rank was 599, and that was the best branch I could get, so I just left it. So I didn't have any plans, but yes, my father was mechanical engineer, so maybe I think that played a bit of a role, that why I wanted to become a mechanical engineer. So no real thought process why I wanted mechanical engineer.
Right. So you graduated Thapar with an engineering background and then shifted to sales and marketing. Is it something you had planned before joining Thapar, or it is something that you realized during your engineering journey?
No, neither I planned it before Thapar, nor I planned it during my engineering. As I said, it just happened, right? I happened to, so how it happened, I got into DCM Engineering Works, which was a hardcore engineering company, and I was put into a maintenance job. And I frankly didn't really like what I was doing. And meanwhile, I got an offer from Tech Computers, and I felt, and it was considered to be a coveted company. And I said, I just latched onto it, and that's how my journey in sales started. And even when I joined Maruti, my first priority was engineering. I wanted to get into engineering, but sorry, just a sec.
No problem.
So I went into, so I just, I asked for engineering, but I was given again marketing and sales, because probably I had experience in marketing sales earlier.
Yes.
And two people from IIMS, they didn't join, and they picked 2 engineers, and I happened to be one of them. And that's how my journey in marketing and sales started. So frankly, I had never planned it, it just happened. But I don't regret, and I think I would say that was the best thing to happen to me, getting into marketing and sales.
Yes, so life happens when you're busy making other plans.
Absolutely.
So was your first job a campus placement?
So it was DCM Engineering Works. It was near Rupert. And it was a hardcore engineering company. And after 2 months of orientation, I was given I wanted CAD CAM. Well, I didn't know even ABC of what computers are, but I was interested in CAD and CAM, because you used to get an air conditioner room to work on CAD and
Yes, sir. So could you share some learnings from your first job?
That was my first introduction to a manufacturing plant, because we had read it in books, but that was the first time you would know how the engines are made and what each of the departments, the role they would play in making of engines. I think it was very, very interesting, and very, I was in awe of a manufacturing plant, and I could see how engines were made, and it was very different from what we learned in our textbooks. So it was an amazing experience to really learn about how the engines were made. And at that time, they were supplying to Maruti Suzuki, and Maruti Suzuki was the company of the country at that point in time, and it was amazing to learn how engines were made.
Right. So now this is really something amazing and inspiring. Can you please share your experience in Maruti Suzuki, where you took the brand centers from 300 to 1000?
Yeah, so that happened in year 2006 to 2011. I was in sales for so I joined in 1995, and in the first 11 years of my journey, 1 year was, of course, as an engineer trainee. You were in orientation where you underwent training in plant. 8 years I had spent in sales and 2 years in marketing, and this was a very interesting project which Maruti was embarking on. And in 2006, Maruti went on a huge network expansion spree, wherein they want to expand into rural areas and tier 3 and tier 4 towns. And I happened to be at the helm of affairs at that point in time. And it was a very challenging task because you had to convince a lot of your existing channel partners to expand. And they were in no mood to really expand. But somehow we could convince them, show them how the business model makes sense, and we kind of reduce the size of our showrooms and workshops, really made it miniature size of the main showrooms and workshops. I think the size we could manage was almost 10 to 15% of the original size. And when it made business sense for dealers, they really latched onto it. So from 300 odd in 2006, we reached to almost 1,200 by 2011. So that was a huge jump. And I think Maruti today is close to 3,000 plus showrooms. And that was the time that it really accelerated into that space. And today for Maruti, that is one of the biggest advantage they have. So I was really proud of to be part of that team, which really made it happen. So yeah, so it was really, really great work done by the team at that point.
Amazing, sir. So when and why did you decide to pursue the senior executive leadership program, and how was your experience there?
Yeah, so the experience was absolutely out of this world. I can't even put it into words, but it happened in 2017, when General Motors, I was working with General Motors, and General Motors decided to exit Indian operations, and they shut down Indian operations. So I didn't have any plans. I was not sure what to do next. And I thought, let me, pursue this management program at Harvard. And it was actually a senior executive leadership program. And I enrolled myself. So while I got into job, soon after I joined, but the experience was out of this world. In fact, the format that they have adopted is that of case studies. So they will give you case studies. So I had 7 weeks with Harvard, 3 weeks in Boston, and 4 weeks they have a campus in Bombay. So they will give you case studies in advance. You are supposed to go through those case studies, and those case studies are discussed in the class. And so 80 of us, which were in that batch, we all came from diverse background. People from supply chain, from finance, from HR. There were some entrepreneurs as well. So, the beauty of that was, everybody had a different perspective to the case study. And every time somebody would put a point which you have not thought about, you would always think, why did I think about it? So it really pushed me to think beyond what I was thinking. And because I was a marketing and sales guy, maybe I would think it from a marketing and sales perspective, but not from a finance guy perspective or a HR guy perspective or a research perspective. So I think that really gave me a push that why am I not thinking enough? So I think it really helped me in pushing myself to thinking 360 degrees, and I think it has really helped me in my career because I think it helped me in thinking wider, deeper, and that's what is required when you have to make some complex business decisions. So amazing amount of learning that I had.
So can you explain a bit about the course and the admission process, like how you came to know about it?
Came to know about it. I'm not sure. I think I would have seen something on Facebook or through some of the friends. And the admission program, admission is all about. They look at what kind of career you had in your corporate world. Are you senior enough to really get into this program, or do you have that kind of understanding? And there's a huge amount of the application form asks you a lot of questions, probes you from very different perspectives to understand whether you are good enough for this program. There is no formal interview, or in case they have any doubts, they do have interview, but they will look at what kind of work you have done and whether you will fit into this program or not. So I think once you gain experience of 10 to 15 years or 15 years and more, I would say, I think then it is easier to get into this program. But since it was only the second year, I think it was still developing. So I think it made my task a little easier. Maybe it may be a little tougher because there have been, I think, 4 or 5 batches now, and there would be a lot of traction. But I would recommend everyone to go for this program if you have completed 15 to 20 years of work-ex. I think it really makes sense.
All right. So how did you manage your job and the leadership program simultaneously?
Frankly, it was very tough. It was not easy because in sales, you have to deliver your numbers month after month, day after day, week after week. So to balance it, it was not easy, because I remember the moment I used to get that 45 minutes break during my classes, I would used to get onto my I would get onto my calls and finish calls with my teams. So it was really jam-packed days. But at the end of the day, by that time, you know how to balance your professional and personal work. And I happen to have a strong team which would take a lot of responsibilities, and they helped me in undergoing this course while managing the professional assignments as well.
Wonderful, sir. So how is your day as a professional?
So, it starts with a morning meeting with my team. Kia being a Korean company, we start at 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock, I have meeting with my Korean counterpart. And 8:30, I have meeting with my marketing and sales team, which is head of marketing, sales, network. And we discuss, what are the plans for the day, what are we going to do, and if there is any market information that each one of us has, we share with each other. And post that, there are a set of meetings which we have. We have, weekly, daily, monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, which are planned. But everything, that we do, we try to keep customer at the center of everything we do, because that helps us make, making decisions in a much better way.
Right. So, like, you have stayed in a number of places like Gurgaon, Delhi, Mumbai, Chandigarh. So, which place life you like the most?
I think undoubtedly Chandigarh is the best, because it's a smaller town compared to Delhi and Mumbai, and also you're next to hills, so it's 2 or 3 hours drive, and you are right in the hills, and I think that's what I really liked about Chandigarh. I also liked Mumbai a lot because the running culture is very, very strong, and the people are very chilled out in Mumbai. So while I was there for about 3 years, I really enjoyed it. And of course, Gurgaon is now second home, because I first came to Gurgaon in 1995, and it's 2021. It's good 26 years. I've been off and on going out of Gurgaon, but always coming back to Gurgaon. So frankly, loved all the places, but yes, I think Chandigarh will be at the top.
Thank you. So which is your birthplace?
I'm from Moga in Punjab. Yeah.
Right. So what approach should one keep in mind when they enter the corporate world?
I think very importantly, you need to have the right attitude. And of course, you need to develop a lot of skills on the way. But if you have the right attitude, I think everything becomes easy. In terms of skill sets, you need to very importantly learn the communication skill. Another important thing to learn is teamwork. How do you work with your team, and also how do you work with your immediate senior. And also, as I said, presentation, communication, teamwork, working with your immediate senior. So these are some of the important skills that you need to have. But very importantly, how you really approach each and every problem. What is your attitude towards it? That really helps you, thrive in long run. And last but not least is the integrity and the ethics with which you work in an organization. That's very, very essential.
Right, sir. So what are the prospects of women in the corporate sector?
I think most of the organizations, they are looking at diversity and inclusion in a very big way. And I think women are more welcome than ever before with every passing year. That's what I've been my experience in the last 25 years. So I think absolutely the MNCs are more, I would say, forthcoming in terms of inclusion and diversity. Some of the traditional organizations like manufacturing still, I think, has a long way to go. But you definitely can see the increase in women workforce even in the manufacturing organizations as well. But corporate world, definitely, I think, now the ratios will be almost 30 to 40% women. And in manufacturing, I would say it would still be about 10%, but every year you will see an increase in the number of women in the workforce. And I think that's very, very good for the organization.
Yes, sir. So now we'll be starting with a rapid fire round. And yes.
Okay.
If a book was written about you, what would you like the title to be? Rapid fire.
A nice human.
Okay, sir. Nice. Dedicate a song to your college experience.
Sorry?
Dedicate a song to your college experience.
Zindagi na milegi dobara.
Oh.
Sorry, can you hold on for a minute? I'm just a minute. Huh?
Right, sir, no problem.
Gautam, Arjun, मैं call पे हूँ. Gautam, can I call you back around notification आ गया? Hello? क्या what is it? क्या है उसमें? अच्छा लॉकडाउन बस ठीक है फिर तो बस ठीक है तो आप अनाउंस कर दीजिए 30. हाँ बिल्कुल या कर दीजिए ठीक है okay thanks. Sorry, this was important. I hope you'll be able to edit this one.
Yes, sir, no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the third question. If allowed to go back in time, what is this thing you would like to relive?
Relive. I think I don't want to change anything in my life. I think it has been a fantastic journey. I would not like to change anything about it. And to relive, of course, I think Thapar, I would definitely want to relive.
It's something you recall and you like that moment, you want to go back in it.
Moment, okay. He will. I will not be able to. I think that's a whole journey that you enjoy. It's not a moment. It's not about the moment. It's the journey that matters. And the whole Thapar journey was so amazing. To pick up a moment out of that will do injustice to the entire journey. So I would want to live the entire journey of Thapar once again.
Right, sir. So what is one principle that you abide by till date?
That do your best, respect people, and be very honest about the things that you're doing.
Well said, sir. So what is a piece of advice you would like to give to the youth today?
First of all, there are no shortcuts to success. So work hard, think a lot, think about what you're doing and how you want to achieve. So hard work with a smart work, with a lot of thinking, and respecting people around you can help you go a long way.
Right, sir. Really inspiring for me. what would be your alternate profession?
I think my alternate has to be something to do with sports. I will not be able to pinpoint what exactly. It could be coaching, it could be running an organization in sports, or but anything or anything to do with sports would be my calling.
Wonderful, sir. So the first thought that comes in your mind after listening to number one, life.
It's a beautiful journey. Enjoy each moment of your journey, and don't think too much about future, because it passes very fast. You'll not know when you will hit 50. You must be 20, 21 when you are 22, when you're passing out of the college. But the time really flies. So have fun while you are working hard.
Wonderful, sir. After listening to Thapar, the first thing that comes in your mind.
Amazing. A lively place. Yeah, so that's what I would like to say.
Okay, after listening to sports.
My life, my lifeline.
Great, sir. Okay, after corporate world.
Corporate world, something that transform you as a person for better.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. Now this is the this or that. I'll give you two options and you have to choose. Like first one, best OTT platform.
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay. Okay. Morning person or night person? Morning. Okay. Vacations in India or abroad?
Both are equally fascinating.
Right, sir. Attendance or sleep back then?
Attendance.
Great, sir. Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure having you. And I must say that it is really an honor for me to speak with you about your impeccable journey. And it is going to inspire all the Thaparians out there. And thank you so much for sparing your valuable time for us.
Thank you, Chana. You were fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Goodbye. Okay.
Bye.